Hey, sober homies, wannabe sober homies. How are you all doing out there? Uh, this one is it's a heavy topic, a little bit of a burden maybe, just because of events around the world, namely along oceans and the United States, maybe the Middle East also, but when it comes to disasters unfolding and people facing wreckage of their property, their materials, emotional wreckage, psychological wreckage, namely these hurricanes of the last 2 weeks, different parts of the country. It's real heavy. It's real heavy. When it comes to sobriety and like the level of the memories, the multitude of memories for me. And that's why I'm saying that this one's heavy, because I think there's an extreme experience happening in many areas. And let me go into my personal experience and let's draw it out to what I suspect is a real big issue. It's not just drinking and it's not just drugs. It's people when suffering. What has been a tendency, for some, what is still currently a tendency to get drawn to when there's concern, when there's chaos, when there's uncertainty, when there's suffering. Sometimes there needs to be numbness, and like seek a different place to be in, like change your mindset. And if you are like me, you're watching this and have had the experience of drunkenness. For me, it wasn't severely under the influence of drugs. I wasn't a drug person, and still not. So, but I think of all that is happening, all of this wickedness, whether it's like kind of like this sudden emerging thing, and I'll use the word emerging because of what it could be as emergencies. But when you have like a day or two or three to try to get your mind straight, focused, and in decision-making mode, how about radical decision-making mode? Like life or death is about to happen. And some people didn't know that ahead of time. Some people are dead. Some people are alive. And some people, everything has changed. Everything. They don't have a home. They don't live where they used to be. Where they used to be isn't even there anymore. So those who can figure out how to do things safely, like if people in Florida on the West Coast, facing the land that was first facing this hurricane, Milton, and I know I have some friends that reported what they were doing, and what their current status was. Put it that way. They were putting updates, not directly to me. I was reading them on Facebook. But traveling, evacuating, going to another place, whether it's familiar, or if it's like hotels, or just getting out of state and sleeping in your car, something like that. I know that the folks that I was reading updates about headed to different households. Could have been family, could have been friends, but it was miles and miles and miles away, hours away. And it was just going to be a resting place to get out of what was going to be the dire circumstances. And so I'm now distracted by what's behind me because it wasn't what I intended. So I don't want to get in trouble. I had been using my cousin Dan's Serenity Prayer music that he made, but getting beyond that, I can do this, I guess. But mainly, I know that I'd be dead. I'd be dead right now. I wouldn't know what to do without consuming alcohol. It would have been my go-to. It would have been making sure that my nerves were calm. And back during the height of the alcoholism, I felt that I made better decisions after having drinks because that's how I felt normal. And I felt like I was functional and operational as close to drunk as I could. And what kind of decisions are those? I think now, of course. But I'd be dead if I hadn't stopped drinking anyway. I'd be dead if I was face to face with Category 4 hurricanes weeks after weeks. Because again, I would resort to the habit. I would immediately go to drinking. And then I would plan on getting everything figured out at that point, but that's no way to live. Now, people that have been misplaced, if they recognize that they've gotten to a safe spot, are their nerves shot? Do they have a drink or two? Are they a wine enthusiast? Is it something to calm your nerves? And it's definitely a really big concern for strangers, for people I don't know, for masses of people, hundreds and thousands of people who probably thought, I need a drink. My life is done. Life as I have known it. And that's heavy. That hurts. It hurts just because there was just too much emphasis on it in my life, and I wouldn't want that for other people. So I would want people safe and the ability to make their best decisions, and to be fully prepared at every single moment. And I know under the influence or pure drunkenness is dangerous without any of these emergency circumstances. So, like, look, when people have to flee and they just pack a car or a trailer, and they got to go, like, they got to go as fast as possible. They've probably left behind a refrigerator full, a cabinet full of their own stash. And, I mean, you never know. Maybe some people threw that in a to-go bag and traveled with it. But you think about the flooding and the building destruction and these villages, cities, towns that are just completely wiped out. Mudslides, the land is gone, buildings are gone, grocery stores, you can't go buy some, even if you want a beer or two, if you want a drink or two, if you want a glass of wine or two. You don't have a place to buy it anymore. Like, that's what I thought about during some of these hours where these hurricanes have unfolded. And first of all, I don't know how I'm still alive through what I went through by choice. And I wouldn't be alive if I still remained a heavy drinker, alcoholic, during times of disasters like this. Because I would need it. I would focus on it and I would need it. My decisions would be jaded and it would serve nothing. So without, circling around the mountain and making a really good point about this is that I'm here recording this because, and it's been a while, I understand. I don't know the last time I sat down and recorded anything. Everything's fine. I mean, I might look tired and everything like that, but all is well. Work, family, health, sobriety, the Lord, everything's fantastic. But my thoughts switch to the people that aren't fantastic and that are under the dire circumstances. And again, I speak about people who aren't alcoholic, who don't have 6 or 12 a day or a night, who aren't, white knuckling things and everything like that. The people who have life under control, even if they're drinking, I mean, there's terrible spin right now, and it's just not in their favor. My response would have been heavy drinking, which that alone could lead to death for anybody. But like the sources, when you just want to go buy it at the store, and if you're just having some while watching football or glass of wine, dinner at a restaurant, like it's gone. All this stuff has been wiped out. Damages to buildings, businesses being closed while under repair. The product itself is probably shattered and running downstream, which makes it probably a 0.004 body of water. Like you think about that, like it's all washed away. And nobody can go get anything. So I feel for everybody that has gone through loss, that has been displaced, that won't have a place to go back to. And where you went just to stay safe, all the decisions had to be made without the alcohol. And sometimes I know that that's tough, and it's just a burden, even for myself who doesn't struggle with it anymore. But, I mean, really, it is a thing. It's acceptable if somebody has to have a beer just to sit down and accept some sort of, I don't know, like a calming or a peace or or to just stop their brain for a little while, with all that's going on. I am not ever going to say that I don't understand. I understand. If people can have one and it's kind of a solvent, you know what I'm saying? God bless them. But in moments, what people have just experienced, some people thought about it as the first thing. Some people wanted it really badly. Some people don't have it and they're chasing it and their lives are different. And some people just need to realize that life is going to be okay if you don't have it. And that's who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to those who have gotten sober and know what I'm saying, and those who just feel like I rely too much on alcohol because I've been thinking about it this whole ordeal. And, some people chase it, some people need it. Life isn't the same if they don't have it. And there's a lot of people that don't have it. The ones that are under control with it, they're going to have one soon, maybe today, maybe, I don't know. But like the whole gamut, the whole selection, the whole array of people have been on my mind all over these hurricanes and disasters. Is what about the drinking world? I just hope you don't need it. I hope it becomes no part of coping and recuperating from this whole ordeal. I just hope. So this is for you, anybody out there still in the struggle. You're not forgotten, that this is part of life. And I have to say, personally, just that I'm glad I'm not in it, But I'm glad that I'm not in the alcohol, in the sauce anymore, because I'd be dead. And I'm just kind of circling around with the same thought right now. I felt like sitting down and recording one. I haven't done so in a while, so I will see you in time soon.